On a beautiful morning at Largs Marina, we are now safely in the fuel berth.
Welcome back to Adventure Now. Here we are in December 2021, lifting Altor from the water for the first time in 2 years. And considering that just over 2 years ago, the keel was off, and I had a hand bolting it back on again, I was relieved to see that other than a few mussels and barnacles, she was looking fine. The boys got straight on with it, and before long, all the clagginess clinging to Altor's hefty undercarriage was blasted away. We were then transported the short distance through the boat's yard to Altor's cradle, and there, stranded like a fish out of water, she was lowered down onto terra firma. During Altor's big refit a couple of years ago, a lot of work was carried out below the waterline. This time around, it needed cleaning, anodes changing, painting to the parts of the boat not coated in copper coat, some repairs to some scratching on the keel caused by the soft Essex mud, and then a light polish. After 2 weeks working around some cold, hard Scottish winter rain, it was time to say goodbye to boatyard life and get this fish back in the water where she belongs. Despite only being out of the water for 2 weeks, being afloat again felt awesome, as did sheltering behind the big stone walls of the marina, looking out over the beautiful Firth of Clyde. I've wanted to spend a winter in Scotland for ages, and it's been truly wonderful. But it hasn't always been this calm, and in fact, over a period of 25 days, we had 18 gales. Back in the warm again, and we were fannying around with all the normal sorts of things that any boat owner fannies around with. And now it's the turn of the gas line for the cooker to replace the 30-year-old original.
Been a pretty long day, but we have the gas system in, we have the test point, and we have a tap, which we didn't have before. And now we just got to connect the cooker up, which will be just in time because we are hungry. Well, it's that lovely time again when we get Perkins ready for action. We do get a couple of dribbles of oil from Perkins. I think some comes from the sump gasket, but it's only minimal, so we live with it. I think we're ready to go.
With Perkins running sweetly after her service and massage, we headed outside and concentrated on wind power by hoisting the jib. You can have all the will in the world, but we find that you still need the stars to align. We had somewhere to be, and we were ready.
I think it's fair to say we both feel a bit rusty today. Didn't know how to get the cockpit enclosure down. I was faffing around with the lines. But 5 months, the rust will set in, so let's shake it off.
Welcome back on board Altor of Down, and welcome to Season 3 of Adventure Now. Please join us as we set out onto the west coast of Scotland, bound for Portavadie to celebrate a friend's 40th birthday for the 30th time.
First sail of the season. We've come out We've got 28, 29 knots, but we're now turning the corner around Little Cumbria. My faithful crew member here has got a sit rep. What's happened?
What is a sit rep?
Situation report.
Oh, situation report. Like a proper Instagram person, I was trying to take a selfie of the ship, me and the captain, and the phone unfortunately slipped my paws and went for a swim.
We have much to learn from the mighty sea. Lessons come fast, usually free. Sometimes there's a charge, you'll know when you're asked. But I think that's fair for allowing us to pass. So we hand out that fee. This season's a whopper. We don't mind a donation to Davy Jones's locker.
Got a casualty very early in the season. First day getting sea legs. Ash has just given something to the deck. She'll bounce back. She always does. Well, the mainsail's flapping. I'm glad we put a reef in. I was considering going full rag, but pleased we didn't. Rolled the jib away, about 37.7 knots. I think the wind is howling down between the land here, so I'm just holding the main sheet so I can just chuck some sheet at it if we get another 37 knots. But it's well, this is a bit more than a shakedown sail as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Well, we managed to put the second reef in the main because we're seeing sustained 33 and up to 35 and 36. Howling down there, so we're a bit more under control now, still doing 7.3 knots. Lively day. Things have calmed down now. We're in the lee of the land. We haven't got the big waves rolling through, and we seem to be back down to a manageable 20 to sort of 26, 27 knots at the time.
We had a fairly rocky shakedown on the sail to Portavadie from Largs, but whew, happy to be here.
Right, teach me, seamstress.
So I will start it for you, yeah?
Ah, what?
And then you
don't trust me to start it?
it's fine, I
Can you tell me where to put the little prick?
You know where to put the prick. I'll show you where to put the tiny prick.
You know, the mind creaks and groans, but I feel like I'm...
But you can imagine how the thread is going to have an X underneath and an X over.
Yeah,
right?
I got it. So then there, pull that tight there, just nip it. Happy?
Yeah.
And then we're done. Another one done.
Yeah.
That's my thumb.
Our mission to Portavadie was one of stealth. The Moody moored on the inside here is Pangy, belonging to Mike Henderson, and the lovely Nicholson 32 alongside, called Beckaboo, belongs to his partner Helen. Together, they write the awesome cruising guides that we use to sail the more northern latitudes, and it is Mike's birthday that we are here to celebrate. However, he has no idea that Helen has arranged a surprise party for him, so in order to keep a low profile, we head to the hills.
Oh yes, Scotland, thank you. 37.7 knots we had out there day before yesterday, now calm and beautiful. So a fact about Portavadie, and then a story. Portavadie, the basin of the marina, used to be land, and in the 1970s they dug it out and then carved a channel to the sea to fill it up. And the original intention was to build oil rigs to plunder the North Sea oil. But it never actually happened. I think there was a problem with the oil industry at the time, so no platforms were ever built. But I read something else, and what I read was that it was actually a secret base to build submarines. And I don't know whether it was like that years ago, but the entrance is very narrow. I don't see how you'd float a big oil rig out of there. But that suits me because I prefer the story of the secret submarine base. There was also a village that was built down there and never occupied and only very recently demolished. So there's a fact and there's a story. And as so often happens in life, I prefer the stories.
You know what's super cool? That we were invited to this birthday party half a year ago, or when we arrived in Largs, and we couldn't have planned to be here with all the gales, yet we are here. I had a cracking sail, really, a bit of a kicking, but it was fantastic, and I don't regret even puking on Altor, because we are here and we had a spectacular weather, and we met up with Mike and Helen, and it's just so cool to look forward to the party in the evening now. I'm on top of the world!
Don't tell her that she's not. Let her believe it.
The cat remained firmly in the bag. The party was a surprise, and we had a wonderful time celebrating Mike's birthday with all of their friends. The next day, we wandered around the beautiful Portavadie in gorgeous sunshine before getting Altor ready for sea again and heading out into a flat, calm Loch Fyne.
Lovely bit of sunshine. The breeze is actually forecast to sort of die down even more throughout the course of the morning. If we can get round the headland, and then we'll be washed in with the last of the flood tide up towards the Kyles of Bute. We've been trying to make the headland here, and it's taken us a few more tacks than we thought. I think there's a weird little back eddy, but we've changed the setting on the autopilot and we're now on the wind vane setting, so we can set the wind angle and she'll follow the wind, which is lovely. I think it's pretty important to point out that's not autopilot, because if the wind changes it would happily sail you up the beach. So, but she's sailing along on her own very nicely.
And look at the beautiful goose winging.
What can you see, Peeping Tom?
We can see an old cottage with trees growing out of the inside because the roof collapsed.
Not enough breeze to turn the turbine. It doesn't take much to remind us why we love sailing in Scotland. Colours everywhere, the contrasts, absolutely beautiful. Flat calm day, what a treat. After two previous kick-ins, last sail of the season and the first sail of the season, we've got a lovely gentle cruise now to our anchorage on the south side at Burnt Islands.
For the crew of Altor, I guess you could say that this is it, this moment right here. This is why we love this part of the world. A fantastic day of sailing amongst beautiful scenery, and now we are on our way to a totally secluded anchorage.
Well, as anchorages go, this one is a great one. We've dropped the anchor into some mud in time to watch the sun set and enjoy the evening, probably with a drink. Sunset in Ardencaple Bay. What a beautiful spot for our first anchorage of season 3. Nothing feels as secure as wintering in a lovely marina, but nothing feels as wonderful as waking up in a gorgeous anchorage in settled weather. It's so awesome. We're marching back in to season 3. We can't wait.
After a silent night, we had a blissfully peaceful morning anchored in Ardencaple Bay. In the afternoon, we cruised down the East Kyle, and it was impossible not to become mesmerised as we reacquainted ourselves with this beautiful part of the world.
You pull me higher than the stars, and I'm just holding on.
This little spot is Rhode Bay, and at this point we are only 8 miles away from Largs Marina, but with such a calm forecast we decided to stay out for one more night at anchor. The next day we started the long sea voyage back to Largs as the sunshine burnt through the early morning mist.
Really enjoying treating Largs Marina as the home berth. What a great spot.
So there you go, we have wintered and we have sprung, and now Altor is as ready as any boat can be considered to be. The next time we leave Largs Marina, we will be setting off and heading north, but that all happens in episode 2. Thank you so much for watching our first episode of season 3. We really hope you have enjoyed it, and if so, you know what to do. Please stay tuned for more. Altor out.
Just boom, dong, dong, boom. That's what happened.
Well, and you did say though, it went in the drink, and it is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So to make up for the loss of the Samsung, we have to drink, drink, drink.